Hi, welcome to the One Brick Studios workshop. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to be building this rack to hold some of my Lego bins. I'm in the process of finalizing the layout of my Lego studio, which is in my garage. I've already used up all the variable wall space to hang most of my drawer units, so I'm going to utilize the unused space in front of my garage door, which I don't ever plan on opening anyway, and make a rack to hold the rest of my drawers. To keep the project simple, I opted to use some pre-cut 8-foot dimensional pine lumber from my local hardware store. I needed the rack to reach above the top of the garage door so I could secure it to the studs, so the rack had to be about 7.5 feet tall. I also wanted to hang 2 drawer units side by side, and each unit is 15 inches wide, so in total, my rack would be 30 inches wide. I cut down my boards into 3 long 7.5 feet boards and 5 short 30-inch boards. I ripped one of the long boards down to make 2 skinnier boards. Using clamps and a lot of patience, I arranged the 5 short boards across the 2 narrow long boards and glued everything together, making sure to space the short boards so that my drawer units would rest against the boards solidly. I used my drill with a Forstner bit and my jigsaw to cut small legs into one end of the remaining long boards, and to trim off a corner on the other end. I lined up the side boards with the back assembly, applied copious amounts of glue, and held everything in place with every single long pipe clamp I could scrounge up. After cleaning up some glue squeeze out, I sanded and then sealed the whole rack with 2 coats of Danish oil. My drawers come with little mounting holes in the back, so all I needed to do to mount them to the rack was to install some small screws with large heads. Using my drawer units as reference, I marked out where the mounting screw should go, and then pre-drilled some holes and screwed the small screws in. So I've got the rack set up, and now it's time to secure it to the wall. I've got these 6-inch bolts because I can't get directly against the wall because the garage door is in the way. So I'm going to set up the bolt so that I go about an inch into the wood. It's all exposed right here. The stud is right there. To space it out, I have this little aluminum tubing just to keep everything spaced with some washers. So the bolt will go through the wood, which is about 1/2 inch thick, and then there'll be the spacer, and then into the stud above the garage. Should be good. The tricky part will be getting the holes to line up properly on the rack and on the wall, since they're kind of a distance from each other. So we'll see how that works. I'll take it slow, make some measurements, make sure I get everything lined up, and get this secured. I used a 1/2 inch Forstner bit to drill partly into the top board, so the long mounting screws would not interfere with the drawer units. After a bit of trial and error, I got the rest of the holes drilled and the rack secured. Then I just needed to load up the rack. And with that, we're done. Really happy with the build. It frees up some more space for me, and it's really functional and still looks pretty good. If I was going to make it again, which I might because I have some more room to expand, I might make it out of hardwood. This was made out of some soft pine, some cheap shelving that you could get at a local hardware store. It made the project cheap, but it's just not as nice looking. But again, it's not for looks, it's for function, and in that department it works really well. And I'm certainly glad I got it done because I really needed it. So until next time, thanks for watching.